Belarus, a small country in Europe, is not widely known on the tourist map. However, if you visit, you'll realize that Belarus is more special than you think. This country not only boasts stunning natural beauty and hospitable people, but also offers plenty of humorous stories and strange occurrences that are hard to find elsewhere. From breathtakingly beautiful women to quirky festivals and surprising political rules, Belarus is a place that will leave an unforgettable impression. Let's discover 16 fascinating and unusual facts about Belarus in today's video. Belarus is currently facing a severe shortage of men, which is causing significant challenges in society and family life. With women making up 53.4% of the population, finding a partner for Belarusian women is becoming increasingly difficult. The root cause of this issue lies in several factors, with unhealthy lifestyles among men playing a major role. The habits of alcohol and tobacco abuse have led to the average life expectancy of Belarusian men being significantly lower than that of women. Men here typically live 10 to 12 years less than women, creating a growing gender imbalance. Additionally, the immigration of young people is exacerbating the situation. Many young Belarusians choose to move abroad in search of better opportunities for study, work, and settlement, resulting in a brain drain. As a result, women left behind in the country face greater challenges in finding partners, creating a significant gap in family and community relationships. This not only affects the social structure but also leads to a decline in birth rates, increasing long-term risks for the country's population development. Experts warn that if this issue is not addressed soon, Belarus may face a demographic crisis in the near future. Although Belarusian women are famous for their delicate beauty and often achieve high rankings in global beauty pageants, marrying one is not a simple task. The Belarusian government has implemented strict regulations to control marriages with foreigners, partly due to concerns over brain drain and gender imbalance. This stems from the fact that men are scarce in the country, making it a government priority to retain talented and beautiful women in order to ensure population and social stability. To prevent women from marrying foreign men and immigrating, the Belarusian government has set special requirements for international couples. If you truly want to marry a Belarusian woman, you must obtain Belarusian citizenship and live there permanently. This is to ensure that the woman will not leave the country, but will continue to contribute to the country's economic and social development. This surprising regulation has left many people astonished, as not many countries in the world have such strict policies. Moreover, the immigration and long-term residence of Belarusian women abroad are closely monitored, especially for those with talents in fields like beauty, sports, and the arts. The government fears that the departure of these exceptional women could cause significant harm to the nation. If you're planning to visit Belarus, here's a fact that will surprise you. Beer is often cheaper than soft drinks. That's right. A glass of fresh beer costs around $1 to $2, while a bottle of soda can sometimes be more expensive. While other countries may consider beer a luxury drink for special occasions or parties, Belarusians enjoy beer as part of their everyday culture. In Belarus, beer isn't just a beverage, it's also a catalyst for social connections. Belarusians love gathering with friends and family on weekends, and there's nothing better than sharing a few glasses of fresh beer in a relaxed, joyful atmosphere. From cozy little bars to traditional restaurants, beer is always served as a staple on the menu. What's more, you don't have to be wealthy to enjoy beer. Just $1 to $2 for a glass, sometimes even less, is enough to join in the lively atmosphere of Belarusian bars. However, don't think you can walk around Belarus with a can of beer in hand. The law prohibits drinking beer in public places, including parks, squares, and streets. While this might seem contradictory, it's an effort by the government to maintain order and urban civility. This means that although you can easily buy a beer at any bar or convenience store, drinking it outside may get you into trouble. Even though beer is cheap and readily available, Belarusians don't view beer drinking as a hedonistic lifestyle. On the contrary, they have a serious and responsible attitude toward their drinking culture. Parties are not an excuse for drunkenness or losing control, but are times to connect and share joy. Therefore, you'll rarely see Belarusians drunk in public, as such behavior is considered uncivilized and can lead to penalties. If there is one thing that elderly people around the world dream of, it's free transportation. In Belarus, this dream is not only a reality, but an important part of daily life for the elderly. Whether it's a bus, trolley bus, or subway, once you turn 60, you're in luck. Public transportation in the city is completely free for you. And not the free, but with conditions kind, it's 100% free. This policy not only helps the elderly save on transportation costs, but also helps them maintain social connections. Instead of sitting alone at home, seniors can easily go out to socialize with friends, join retirement clubs, or attend cultural events. As a result, they feel that life still has meaning and maintain good mental health. With a public transportation system that covers the entire country, getting around is incredibly convenient for seniors. You don't need to worry about schedules or costs, just hop on the bus, sit down, and enjoy the ride. This brings great benefits, especially in maintaining family relationships. Grandmothers can easily visit their grandchildren at any time without relying on help from their children. What's remarkable is that Belarus's public transportation system works so well, even though it's subsidized for seniors. Buses and trolleybuses are always clean and on time, making travel easy and comfortable. Sometimes elderly women even bring snacks to share with each other on the bus, turning every trip into a small picnic. If you're looking for a place where you can live comfortably on a minimal budget without sacrificing essential needs, Belarus is the perfect destination. While many people in developed countries struggle with housing, food, and service costs, life in Belarus offers an incredibly affordable and self-sufficient alternative. Statistics show that the cost of living in Belarus is only 25% of that in the United States. This means that what an American family spends $4,000 on each month would only cost about $400 to $600 in Belarus for a comfortable lifestyle. This amount covers all basic expenses: rent, food, transportation, and essential services. What's noteworthy is that Belarus is not just cheap due to a low standard of living, but the practical, frugal, and self-sufficient lifestyle of its people has significantly reduced living costs. For example, rent, which is usually one of the largest expenses for any family, is very affordable in Belarus. You can rent a one-bedroom apartment in the center of the capital, Minsk, for just around $300 to $500 per month. If you prefer to live in the suburbs, the rent will be even cheaper, ranging from $200 to $350 per month. In contrast, New York or London, where average rents can reach $2,000 to $3,000 per month, Belarus offers an incredibly great deal. Utility costs, electricity, water, heating, and garbage are also very reasonable, averaging around $50 to $100 per month, depending on the season. During winter, when heating is used more, the bills may rise slightly, but still won't exceed $80 to $120. As you can see, with cheap housing, self-sufficient food production, free public transportation for seniors, and almost free healthcare and education services, Belarus is the ideal place for those who want a simple, stress-free life. Life in Belarus isn't about running after material wealth, but enjoying the small things, whether it's taking care of a small garden, fixing an old car, or attending colorful traditional festivals. If you're considering a place to live on a tight budget while still enjoying a rich life, Belarus is a choice you can't overlook. In 2016, President Alexander Lukashenko accidentally sparked a bizarre trend when during a public speech, he encouraged people to work hard and sweat to be more efficient. However, a humorous linguistic mishap occurred in Belarusian, where the phrases "take off your shirt" and "work hard" sound quite similar, leading people to interpret his message literally. A nationwide wave quickly followed. Many office workers took off their shirts, photographed themselves half-naked, and posted the images on social media, turning the president's encouragement into a creative, humorous trend. The movement quickly spread, attracting participation not just from office workers, but also from other professions. Images of hospital staff, farm workers, and even teachers posing shirtless created a social media frenzy, leaving people both surprised and amused. This joyful atmosphere transformed the president's call for serious labor into a national joke. Although President Lukashenko likely never imagined his words would be taken this way, the Belarusian people showed they had a great sense of humor. This incident not only highlighted their optimistic and lighthearted nature, but also demonstrated their ability to find joy even in the most absurd situations. The 2016 event became an interesting example of how Belarusians face life. Rather than stressing over sometimes confusing statements, they turn them into opportunities for relaxation and fun. Despite ongoing challenges in gender equality across various fields, Belarusian women have established a strong presence in society, holding key roles in politics, business, and professional sectors. The country boasts a near-equal participation rate of women in the workforce and leadership positions, a rare achievement compared to many other nations. The prominent role of women in academia, politics, business, and the arts showcases their exceptional talent and potential. The Belarusian government has worked to create a favorable environment for women's development, promoting policies that encourage female participation in work and social life. Through equal access to education and training, Belarusian women have not only excelled academically, but also risen to hold important leadership positions in economics, politics, and education. For example, women play a decisive role in small and medium-sized businesses, occupying nearly 40% of managerial positions. In education, women dominate, serving as professors and researchers at prestigious universities and research institutes. A notable example of the progress of Belarusian women is the emergence of strong female voices in politics. Svetlana Tikhanovskaya is a clear illustration. Despite being a housewife, she stepped up to lead the opposition movement in the 2020 presidential election. Her leadership not only brought hope for democracy, but also inspired women worldwide to overcome adversity and embrace leadership roles. Additionally, Belarusian women are often internationally recognized for their achievements. Female athletes like Victoria Azarenka, a former world #1 tennis player, and Daria Domracheva, a biathlon legend, have not only brought glory to the country, but also served as role models for younger generations. These women have demonstrated that success is possible in any field, from sports to politics and education. If you ever thought that vintage cars are only displayed in museums, try visiting Belarus and taking a taxi. Don't be surprised if you're greeted by a Lada or Volga, cars over 40 years old but still running smoothly and quietly. In Belarus, old cars aren't a problem as long as they run. The Lada 2101 or Volga Gaz 24 might look a little outdated, but you'll be surprised at how smoothly the engine runs. The secret? Some mechanical knowledge, a few repairs under the hood, and of course, a great love for classic machines. In Belarus, maintaining these old cars is almost a national pastime. It's not unusual to see elderly men in villages or mechanics taking apart an old car right in the middle of their yard on weekends. Old Soviet car parts are highly sought after at local flea markets, and the spare parts stockpiled are every classic car enthusiast's treasure. Here's a fun fact. Driving a dirty car in Belarus is against the law. It's not just a social norm but an official regulation. If you dare drive a car covered in dirt, prepare yourself for a fine or a penalty on your driver's license. Old cars are fine, but dirty cars are not. The car must be so clean that if someone were to use it as a mirror to comb their hair, they wouldn't be surprised. As a result, car washing becomes a mandatory weekly ritual. Car wash stations in Belarus run non-stop, and you'll often see locals scrubbing down every wheel rim with care and affection as if they were tending to a pet. Even a 40-year-old car must be spotless if it wants to roll on the street without attracting the attention of the police. Under the leadership of President Alexander Lukashenko, Belarus has become one of the most controversial political regimes in Europe. Lukashenko, who has been in power since 1994, has built an absolute power system where the government tightly controls the media, suppresses opposing voices, and limits democratic freedoms. While in the early years of his leadership, he was praised for bringing economic stability to the country, constitutional amendments and extended presidential terms have turned him into a dictator, heavily criticized by the West. The climax of dissatisfaction came during the 2020 presidential election, when Lukashenko claimed victory with over 80% of the votes while his main opponent, Svetlana Tikhanovskaya, received only 10%. The people of Belarus believed the results were rigged, and tens of thousands of people took to the streets to protest. The protests were quickly suppressed with stun grenades, rubber bullets, and mass arrests. By the end of 2020, over 30,000 protesters had been detained. Despite the international community, including the European Union and the United States, imposing sanctions on Belarus and demanding a fair election, Lukashenko held on to power with strong backing from Russia. Russia is not only Belarus's main economic partner but also provides oil and gas at discounted prices, helping Belarus maintain a relatively stable standard of living. However, this heavy dependence on Russia has caused concern among many Belarusian citizens about losing national sovereignty. While the government continues to strive for order and stability, the wave of resistance from the people remains simmering. The 2020 protests showed that the desire for democracy is higher than ever. The people of Belarus are not only demanding political freedom but are also yearning for a more equal and just future. The future of Belarus will not only affect the lives of its over 9 million citizens, but also have a significant impact on the geopolitical situation of the entire region. In Belarus, bread is not just food, it is a cultural symbol deeply intertwined with the people's spiritual life. Among the various types, black bread holds special reverence and is regarded as a symbol of prosperity, respect, and hospitality. For Belarusians, black bread is not just a familiar dish, but also carries deep meanings of affection and hospitality, passed down through generations. One of the most distinct traditional rituals is offering guests a slice of black bread with salt when they visit a home. This gesture not only shows hospitality but also symbolizes a blessing for the guest, wishing them prosperity and abundance. Bread represents sustenance and fullness, while salt is considered a symbol of luck and endurance. This ritual is not only part of family culture but also appears on special occasions like weddings, festivals, and important events, where bread and salt are given as a welcome gift and blessing. Interestingly, refusing to eat bread or salt on such occasions is seen as impolite, and could even offend the host. For Belarusians, black bread represents more than hospitality, it is also a part of national pride. So if you ever visit a Belarusian family, be prepared to enjoy at least one slice of black bread with salt. Not just to show respect but also to immerse yourself in the country's culture. Belarusian black bread, made from rye, has a rich flavor with a slight sourness, setting it apart from ordinary white bread. Belarusians enjoy eating black bread with butter, cheese, or smoked fish, but in traditional rituals, salt is the essential accompaniment. The custom of offering bread with salt reflects the simple and sincere nature of Belarusians, who highly value family connections and guest relationships. Additionally, black bread is linked to historical and folklore stories. During difficult times and wars, black bread became a symbol of resilience, as people survived tough periods with this simple food source. If you're seeking a cultural experience that's both romantic and mysterious, the Ivan Kupala Festival in Belarus is your answer. This ancient cultural event allows people to immerse themselves in a mystical atmosphere of love, faith, and folk magic. The charm of this festival lies in its combination of lively celebration and irresistible mysticism, making it the perfect occasion for those who love romance. And who knows, you might just find your true love here. One of the most beloved activities during the festival is floating flower wreaths down a river to predict romantic fortunes. Young women carefully weave wreaths from wildflowers and herbs, then gently release them into the water. According to tradition, if the wreath floats away smoothly without getting caught, the girl will soon meet the love of her life. However, if the wreath spins in circles, sinks, or gets stuck, it could mean her love life will face some challenges. If you think the wreath floating is the quirkiest part of the festival, then the tradition of releasing a rooster is sure to make you laugh. In some rural areas of Belarus, people organize a contest where a rooster is released to predict who will marry next. A group of young people gathers, and a rooster is let loose in the crowd. Whoever the rooster runs toward first is believed to be the one who will marry that year. While this tradition seems more like entertainment, many Belarusians still believe there's something magical about it. If the rooster chooses someone, it means fate has already been decided. This is the optimistic folk belief. Although healthcare services are completely free in Belarus, there remains a warm and unique tradition of giving gifts to doctors instead of money. In many countries, doctors are revered for healing the sick, but in Belarus, the way to thank a doctor carries a special flair. Belarusians don't like the idea of handing doctors cash, not because they are stingy, but because they believe heartfelt gratitude should be expressed through gifts, not money. So when patients are discharged, it's common to see a happy patient offering their doctor a fine bottle of cognac or a box of chocolates, along with sincere words of thanks. You might wonder why cognac in particular is considered a classy and respectful gift. A bottle of fine cognac is not just a luxury item but also a way to show deep appreciation for the person who has cared for and healed you. In more special situations, it might be a gift basket filled with local delicacies, ranging from pure honey to smoked sausages. These gifts not only carry material value but also express the emotions and respect of the giver. Crambula is not just an ordinary drink, it is considered a unique cultural heritage of Belarus. Emerging in the 16th century, it quickly became a favorite at lavish parties among the Belarusian nobility. With a distinctive combination of pure honey, rare herbs, and local strong liquor, Crambula offers a warm, refined taste, making it a drink that is both delicious and nutritious. Not just a drink for parties, Crambula was also considered a traditional remedy. Belarusians believe that drinking crambula can boost the immune system, improve digestion, and help treat colds during the cold winter months. This drink carries deep cultural significance tied to the long-standing lifestyle and customs of the local people. Once gracing the tables of Belarusian aristocrats, it was popular among the Belarusian elite during medieval feasts. Over time, however, crambula became less common due to high production costs and changing tastes. Thanks to the interest of young people and a resurgence of traditional culture, this drink is slowly making its way back into the lives of Belarusians. Local producers have begun to restore the traditional recipe, and crambula is now becoming one of the must-try specialties for visitors to Belarus. Today, international tourists in Belarus are often introduced to crambula as a unique cultural experience. Bars and restaurants in Minsk and other major cities have started serving this drink, offering the authentic taste of Belarus to both locals and visitors. Holding a warm glass of crambula in your hand, savoring the sweetness of honey blended with the spicy aroma of herbs will surely be an unforgettable experience amidst the typical chilly atmosphere of Belarus.